You ever think building your dream house is going to feel like prepping for a military siege? Yeah, me neither. But let me tell you, if you ever find yourself staring down a Colorado sunrise, coffee in hand, ready to hang that last chunk of insulation on your forever home, and then you see the HOA president storming up your driveway with a clipboard and that "I own you" smile, you better take a breath and brace yourself. Because, my friend, what comes next isn't just a neighborhood spat. It's war. I remember that morning. The air was so cold you could see your own words float off if you talked out loud, and my truck was packed to the roof. Insulation, fiber cement panels, some fancy ironwork I'd been itching to install. Almost done with the build. Just the terrace, interior finishes, pool left. I could see the finish line. And then, her. Marching up like she'd just caught me spray painting graffiti on her golden retriever. She didn't knock, didn't smile, just called out. "Excuse me, do you have a permit to be here?" Not even a "good morning." I'm thinking, is this a joke? I tell her, "Ma'am, this is my land. I took County Road 26, crossed my easement. Didn't even come through your subdivision." But she doesn't care. She points at her badge like it's a sheriff's star and hits me with, "Are you a member of Hollow Pines? Because if not, you're not allowed to use our roads. You're violating our rules. Our residents are funding all this, you know." I try to explain. My land predates their HOA by half a century. I bought it outright, and frankly, I couldn't care less about what's visible from their cookie-cutter McMansions. She just gets redder in the face, whips out a piece of paper, waves it around. "You'll be hearing from our board. You're not above the law here." Then she disappears into the trees like a bad omen. I should have known right then it wouldn't stop at words. That evening, I drive down my own gravel driveway and slam on the brakes. Someone's chained and padlocked my gate. A lock I didn't own. Plus, there's a sign. "Notice of suspension of access, property subject to review." Hollow Pines HOA logo stamped on top like it means something. I don't yell. I don't call anyone. I walk back to my truck, grab the angle grinder, cut that lock off in 20 seconds flat, and take pictures of everything: chain, sign, tire tracks. Then I hang my own lock, toss their laminated thread in my glove box, and just stand there in the fading light thinking, okay, if it's a fight they want, it's a fight they'll get. Next morning, I'm eating breakfast on a paint bucket when I hear a knock on my truck window. Step outside, and there are two sheriff's deputies and, right behind them, the HOA queen herself in her Lexus. "Are you Aaron Holmes?" the older one asks. "Yep," I say. "Want a cold egg sandwich?" They don't laugh. Turns out Karen, yeah, that's really her name, called in a break-in. Says I'm squatting on community land. I just pull out my red folder, deed, permit, GPS map with every inch of my property marked, plus a highlighted line where their HOA stops dead 7 feet short of my fence. Deputies read it all, walk the perimeter, and hand everything back with a polite nod. "You're good here. Do you have photos of the sign and lock?" Of course I do. Karen tries to protest, talking about the bigger picture and rogue elements, but the deputies aren't having it. Then, like something straight out of a courtroom TV show, she jabs her finger right past the deputy, trying to point it at my face. Next thing, she's being cuffed for assaulting an officer, screeching about lawsuits as they haul her off. I just watch, eating my sandwich. You'd think that would be the end, right? Think again. Karen makes bail in less than a day and comes back swinging. Next time I try to bring in a truckload of cedar planks, the road's blocked. Not with dirt or boulders. No, with a fresh steel gate, keypad, signs everywhere, private road. Hollow Pines HOA only. But here's the kicker. The road is still public. County maintained, my property abuts it, but the optics are killer. Anyone driving up thinks I'm the trespasser now. I check the GIS records, and sure enough, nothing's changed legally. But when I call the HOA number, there's Karen's voice on the voicemail, smug as hell, telling me to direct all requests to their legal department. Then comes the envelope, legal notice. They're suing me for $78,000, claiming road damage, noise, emotional distress, the whole 9 yards. There are even drone shots of me unloading drywall. Somebody's kid with too much time and a DJI, I bet. I drop everything off with my attorney, Dana. She's tough, no nonsense, and just raises an eyebrow. You're not going to win by being neighborly with someone like this. You have to outlawyer her. Dana files motions, the legal wrangling begins, but Karen's still got tricks up her sleeve. Suddenly, delivery trucks can't get in without an HOA escort. Boulder County closes the road, pending review. Karen's filed to have it reclassified as private. My construction stalls. I can't get materials in, can't finish the build, can't even get a plumber in without hiking him in like we're in the Yukon. That's when I realize she's not just blocking me, she's starving me out. But you know what? I'm stubborn. I've built in places you can only get to by helicopter. So that's what I do. Call in a guy I know, helicopter drops, cash, no questions. 48 hours later, there's a twin-engine chopper dropping supplies on my meadow like some redneck version of Amazon Prime. I film it all, post it to my build blog, and suddenly my Trapped by HOA project is internet famous. Contractors start reaching out, tool companies offer sponsorships. Karen wanted to isolate me, but she accidentally made me a local legend. But I'm not just building my house. I'm gathering evidence. Turns out, Hollow Pines has been running residents-only farmers markets on land that isn't even theirs. It's federal forest land. I dig up GIS overlays, drone shots, pull state records, and send it all to the Department of Natural Resources. Suddenly, the road reclassification goes on hold. State officials start sniffing around, and Karen's perfect little empire is looking less and less legit. Of course, things get ugly. My mailbox gets whacked with a bat. Drones buzz my property, one registered to Karen's nephew, classic. Dana files harassment claims, gets an injunction on the road. I install cameras, floodlights, the works. By now, it's not just a property dispute. It's surveillance, sabotage, and legal warfare. Dana digs deeper, finds old road grants showing that the HOA had to keep the road public to get state funding. If they try to privatize it, that's fraud. Then a twist. An ex-HOA board member, Keith, reaches out. He's got a thumb drive, emails, recordings, proof Karen's been faking votes and moving money around for her own projects. Dana calls it a legal buffet. Now we're armed. We go to court. Karen's lawyer argues their usual nonsense, but Dana lays it all out. Maps, grants, drone videos, even footage of HOA security trying to steal a survey marker off my line. The judge isn't amused. He rules the road public, orders the gates and locks removed, and warns that further interference means contempt. Karen melts down, tries to vandalize my mailbox sign with an angle grinder. Deputies arrest her again, right in front of everyone. This time, her rage is all spent. You can see the fear settle in. Still, Karen and the HOA double down with another civil suit. Same $78,000, same nonsense. Only now they claim emotional distress from my helicopter deliveries. Dana doesn't just defend, she countersues. Every dirty trick Karen tried goes into the record. Illegal locks, fake cease and desists, the whole mess. I file a FOIA request, and boom, state grants show the HOA must keep the road open or they're in violation of state law. By the time we get to the next hearing, the courtroom's packed. Reporters, new lawyers, HOA board members sweating bullets. Dana presents everything: fraudulent elections, embezzlement, internal emails where Karen jokes about reclassifying the road while the county sleeps. The judge lays it out. If these claims hold up, we're talking criminal charges now, not just civil. The county prosecutor stands up and asks for a criminal investigation. Karen's face finally cracks. Her access to HOA funds is frozen. A special investigator steps in, and the board starts to unravel. 3 members resign. The HOA hires a forensic accountant. My house. I finally finish it. Solar humming, pool filled, stone deck laid. No more gates. The road's public. The signs I posted still stand. Private property, not part of HOA. Access protected by state and federal law. The last time I saw Karen was on the news. Mugshot, orange jumpsuit. List of charges from fraud to assault. The HOA's under state supervision. There's talk of dissolving it altogether. I get thank you notes from neighbors, even peach cobbler from an old lady who says, "We should have spoken up sooner." I still keep cameras up, never know. But now, when I look out over the foothills, there's no tension in my shoulders, no gates in my way. Just the house I built, the land I fought for, and a stone at the edge of my driveway that says, "Here they tried to take my freedom. Here it was buried instead." Funny thing is, I never wanted any of this. I just wanted to build my home, mind my business, and live how I saw fit. But when someone tries to bully you off your own land, When a petty tyrant decides the rules matter more than what's right, you stand your ground. You fight back. And sometimes, you get to watch the mountain swallow the bullies whole. So, what do you think? Was I wrong to fight as hard as I did? Or is this just how you deal with people who don't know when to back down? Drop your thoughts below, tell me your own HOA war stories, or just let me know where you're tuning in from. If you stuck with me this long, thanks for listening. Sometimes standing your ground means taking a few hits, but at the end of the day, it's your name on the deed. And that's what counts.